And welcome back to Spotlight. Joining me now is David Tarver. He is with the Urban Entrepreneurship Initiative. And welcome to our home here at the Cube in downtown Detroit.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's good to have you here. You're coming up on a big symposium next month in Flint.
Yes.
It moves around from year to year. I know you've done it in Ann Arbor, you've done it at the Center for Creative Studies, and now you're doing it in Flint. What's the focus this year?
The focus is bringing entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs together with people who support those entrepreneurs in order to try to solve urban issues, urban problems, urban needs, try to address those needs with for-profit businesses, to apply that entrepreneurial innovation to the issues that cities have and to make them better places to live.
Mr. Tarver, certainly Flint has received more than its fair share of publicity over the last year or so because of the water crisis. You could have put this institute anywhere in the state. Why did you pick Flint?
Yes, well, I think Flint is a good case in point because, of course, even before the water crisis occurred, Flint was in tough economic shape. And it was because of the fact that even though Flint enjoyed a tremendous amount of success, of course, in the 50s and 60s with the auto industry, for most of the 20th century, in fact, and that success was due to the efforts of entrepreneurs. When the auto industry left, you're left with a situation where there's just not enough private sector for-profit business activity in Flint. And so we feel that it's a great time to go to Flint to try to encourage the entrepreneurs who are there, to try to help the economic development that is taking place there, and to put a spotlight on the fact that we do need to come up with new and innovative ways to solve these issues that urban centers have with for-profit business.
Everybody seems to be talking about entrepreneurship in this state right now, which is a good thing. You have a strong entrepreneurial background. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and how it is that you came into UEI.
Yes, well, I experienced the power of entrepreneurship firsthand in that I grew up in Flint. And I went to University of Michigan, studied engineering there, electrical engineering. After school, I went out to New Jersey and worked for AT&T Bell Laboratories, which was at the time probably the preeminent place for research and development in electronics and telecommunications. Stayed there for 7 years, left and started a business in my basement, manufacturing telecommunications test instruments, which we ultimately ended up selling in more than 25 countries around the world. We sold the company in 1995 to a British outfit that is today called Spirent. And so my own personal life and career was transformed by entrepreneurship, and I saw the effect that we were able to have on our employees and on the surrounding area with the economic activity that we brought. And of course, our activity wasn't focused on solving some urban problem per se, but when I came back here and saw the tremendous opportunity that exists in addressing these issues, both in being here in Detroit and working with people like TechTown Detroit, and being over at the University of Michigan and the Center for Entrepreneurship, where I'm teaching, I was able to see that there's a lot of opportunity here if people will just focus on these kinds of needs in urban areas.
And of course, your toughest sale was probably convincing somebody else in the house that you could start that in your basement. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, we'll pick up on the work that you're going to be doing up in Flint and around this country. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Talk about some of the challenges, whether it's through technology, it's through various business challenges that you're going to be addressing through the symposium.
Yes, well, that is a key part of the symposium this year and something that we've never done before, to issue some business model challenges, competitions to the entrepreneur community out there. So one of the things that is a concern in Flint right now is infrastructure, obviously with the water situation. So we have a business model challenge that we're putting out for entrepreneurs to develop a business that will address some aspect of the infrastructure in a city like Flint. And it can be roads or water or telecommunication or even civic engagement. But to put forth a business model that will address that need with a for-profit business. And we are going to have the finals of that competition during the symposium. So the finalists will come and present their plans. And
what do the winners get?
The winners get some money.
Okay.
And then
that always helps.
And then they get some access to advice. So for that infrastructure competition, they get a consulting session with the Center for Entrepreneurship experts, and also with an outfit in Flint called SkyPoint Ventures, which is a venture capital firm. So that might lead them to some further funding for their business. So that's one challenge that we're putting in place that, again, addresses the needs up in Flint. Another one that is a need in Flint and Detroit and a lot of other places, people need jobs. You know, they need entry-level jobs. They need a rung up onto that employment ladder. And I've never seen a competition like this before. I'm curious myself to see how it goes. But we have a challenge out there for people to create a business model that will lead to a significant number of entry-level jobs in a place like Flint. And so, again, the winner of that competition will put forth a compelling business model, and they will also be eligible for money and strategic advice. In this case, from SkyPoint Ventures once again, and also the University of Michigan Flint School of Management is our partner in that effort.
And I would imagine if you're a budding entrepreneur or hopeful entrepreneur, or if you've been in business for a while, but you're trying to grow your business, become even bigger than what you currently are, in these type of competitions, while the money's important, the consulting advice that you're going to get from people who have gone further than they have is probably much more valuable.
Yeah, you know, people focus on the money, and I actually wish we could offer more money to people.
But how much are you offering?
We're offering for each of those competitions, the winner gets $2,500.
Okay.
But what's more important is the access to these experts and consultants and the recognition that you get out there, which could lead to further opportunities.
Sure. Mr. Tarver, final question. As you look beyond Flint, look at the state of Michigan right now, are you very optimistic? Are you very bullish on where we are in terms of our entrepreneurial spirit? And 20 years from now, do you think that this is going to be a place that is just going to be booming with brand new entrepreneurs?
Well, Chuck, I came back here in 2007, and you know what was happening in this area.
Those were tough times.
So for anybody who came back at that, and people looked at me like, why the heck, you know, my friends in New Jersey, why did you go?
They knew you were a believer, right?
So if I compare now to then, this is much, much better. I mean, the slope of the curve is very high.
Which we see right outside this window.
Definitely. Yeah. But I would still say that there are some significant challenges in the areas of, for example, public safety, communications, health, education, and these are the kinds of issues that innovative entrepreneurs can jump in on, solve these kinds of problems, and not only solve them here, but export the solutions to other places. And to me, that's a tremendous business opportunity and a resource that we have here.
All right, it's not too late for people to get involved if they want to come to the symposiums.
Come to the website urbanei.org to get more information about the initiative itself, the symposium, and the challenges. Everything is right there.
All right. David Tarver, thank you so much for coming in.
Best
of luck with this symposium, and we look forward to hearing where you take it next year.
Thanks a lot.
All right. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.